your bland wardrobe? Well, spice things up with Wood Prosper's customizable t-shirts in 3 easy steps. First, go to smickapp.com and click the Wood Prosper logo. Then select Create Your Own, and lastly, import your own design or use the ones we pre-made for you. You can even customize mugs, hats, jackets, and so much more. So head on over to smickapp.com and click on Wood Prosper today and get your designs noticed.
Alright guys, welcome back to Heart for Art Live Season 2. We left off drawing our interpretation of from Adam to Noah, which is from Genesis chapter 5 to Genesis chapter 8. So we're going to continue where we left off. So let's jump back on over to our sketch pad and pick up where we left off. Alrighty, so before we went to break, we did the hand representing God's hand actually making man. So that's where we actually left off. And there are a few details we're going to do around, like some different leaves and trees and different things like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get started actually drawing Adam. So we're going to, just take our time on it. You don't have to draw it exactly like this. It's just kind of like a, outline of what to draw and how to draw. It just gives you kind of an idea. All right? Alrighty, so I'm going to start kind of doing like his hand and arm from here. His head is going to go near here. This is going to be his body, and his other arm and all of that is going to go right here. Alright? Just fixing a few things. Of course, we're going to go back and add a little bit more detail throughout. Alright? So I'm actually going to start from the head and make my way down. So we're going to do his head like it's kind of leaned to the side. Alright, kind of doing the hair first, then we'll go to the face. Side of his face. Again, doing it at an angle where it looks like his head is kind of tilted, because we're actually going to draw his hand holding his head, so you want it to, look more realistic rather than just straight up. So, alrighty. So now I'm just doing his face, just getting the outline. And I'm kind of going to do like half face right there because we're going to have his hand holding his head. So we're going to leave this gap right here for the hand. Alright, now I'm going to start on his shoulder, which we're going to do up high, almost like he doesn't have a neck because his head is laying on his shoulder. So we're going to go right here. And one arm is actually going to be kind of like under the grass right here, like under the leaf, and the other one's going to come up and around. So this one's actually going to go just straight down, but I'm doing angles so it shows the different, forms of the arms. Alright, let me fix that a little bit. Don't want the arms too long. So what I'm going to do to I'm going to just go and erase this line right here, and I'll make the palm tree leaf come up actually a little higher, just so his arm won't be like super long. So let me fix this right here. And again, if you want, you can bring them down. I'm trying to get them as close to the hand as possible. But you can always, bring them down just a little bit, but I'm just going to make the palm leaves a little higher. Just kind of like that. There. Just connecting all my lines back. Something kind of like that. And of course we're going to add more detail so you can tell what it actually is. So now I'm going to continue with his arm. Like that. And then gonna do the other side of the arm, right here. Kind of like that. All right. And now we're gonna do kind of like the middle of the body. We're gonna do it in a way that it like represents the ribs. So right in here, I'll add a little bit more detail after, but I'm gonna first just do the outline. Just kind of like that. Then we come back and add a little more detail so it'll all merge together. And I'll actually talk about it a little later, like before we close this tutorial, I'm gonna talk about it, but I actually recently wrote my own book for the Alabama Biblical Arts Museum, and it's actually a couple books, but one of the ones that came out a little after the first one was actually how to get answers every time you pray for visual artists. I'm actually gonna show you guys how you can get your own copy at the end of the video, but it just helps you, understand God's will for your life as an artist, like what you should be doing with the gifts and talents that He has given you. So I'll actually talk about that a little later. Alrighty. Just kind of erasing some of the extra lines, especially if they're dark, because you don't want them to show up after you start correcting your lines. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the right side right here, and we're going to draw the hand coming down. His hand and his arm. Okay, so we're going to let his fingers be up here, as if he's holding his head. And this is just Adam, so we still have to do Noah, so I'm actually going to do it kind of like front and back. So I'm going to draw Noah on the back. So it'd be from Adam to Noah, and it'll all be together. But first we're gonna do Adam. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna do 4 fingers holding his head, because the thumb would be more so like behind the chin, so we don't really have to draw the thumb. So we're just gonna leave that part blank. Like, so we're just gonna have 4 fingers right here. All right. Now that we have a draft of the hand, I'm gonna come on out. Make sure that doesn't look weird. Gotta kind of do it at an angle, since we're about to move it downward. So, kind of like that, at a slant. All right, then you're gonna come right here underneath the hand and start drawing as if it's the wrist, going to his wrist. Kind of like that. Now we're going to the arm. This side is actually going to go inward, and this side is going to go at a slant in. And as we go, like with the different drawings and things like that, we'll have different like trivia questions. We're going to get different guess who's, like which story are we drawing today, and give a hint, different things like that. So it's gonna be cool as we keep going to have some fun things in store. All right. So I'm just kind of drawing his arm all the way to the elbow, kind of like this. And you're gonna go ahead and cup off the elbow, because we're gonna draw the inside of the arm going this way. All right. He's gonna like connect to his body. So if you start right here, you're going to do like another shoulder, how we did over here. Kind of at a slant, like so. Then you're going to come down here where his arm is, about halfway, so we can do the other side of his body. We can actually bring this part of the arm over just a little bit. I'm going to bring it over just a little. Alright, redraw that shoulder there. Okay, then I'm going to start on the other side of his body. We're going to start here, kind of bring it in and out. And it's just giving us an outline. Alright, that's just kind of the outline for the body. You can add just a little bit of the arm right here, so it doesn't look too weird. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of connect the elbow to the other side of the arm. So since I did that, you see this line in the middle, I'm going to get rid of that. So it shows how they're connected to each other. Alrighty, and on this one we're just trying to kind of get the outline of everything, and of course we'll go back and add detail. So you have to add things all around here, detail to the body, to the leaves, different things like that, alright? Okay, so that gives us kind of the outline of Adam and the body of Adam all right here. So now since we have our position of where we're actually doing this, we're going to go ahead and add a few things in the back, like leaves, the sky, different things like that, okay? So now I'm just going to kind of do a few strokes up just to represent the grass. And you want to space them out, but do some close together, but you don't want it to start looking messy. So just do kind of a few up and downs, and go over here, up, almost like you're doing whiskers, but you're doing it for the grass. Like this. Do a few small ones on the bottom. Alrighty, and that just gives us kind of a rough of where the grass is going to be. Alright, now we're going to come up here. I'm going to add a few clouds and a little shade in the back just to show you that it's, fading into the sky, okay? Alright, we're going to come here, just right to left, very light, to where you almost can't see the lines, but where it gives it different kind of shade. And you want it kind of rough. You want it to match the whole drawing. Alright, and now when I do the clouds, I'm going to do it thin. It's not going to be a big cloud, it's thin. So like, use the side of my pencil. I'm just doing a few kind of like scribbles, but with a little form so you can tell it's the cloud. Alright, you're just doing them in different areas. If you do them thinner, it makes it look a little bit more realistic rather than like really big clouds. Alrighty.
Tired of your bland wardrobe? Well, spice things up with the Wood Prosper's customizable t-shirts in 3 easy steps. First, go to smicapp.com and click the Wood Prosper logo. Then select Create Your Own, and lastly, import your own design or use the ones we pre-made for you. You can even customize mugs, hats, jackets, and so much more. So head on over to smicapp.com and click on Wood Prosper today and get your designs noticed.